lead on Mississippi State. I found out something interesting about Mississippi State. I give Hunt credit on this. I didn't know this until yesterday. Mississippi State blew Missouri out in the last 3 games of the regular season. I missed this. Missouri didn't throw any of their weekend starters. Now, the reason I think I didn't notice this is because Missouri's weekend starters ERAs look like the ERAs of, guys in, Pony League. But they held them all just because, well, what do you have to have? You have to have a win the SEC tournament. So Hunt picked that one up. I give him credit for that one. I didn't see it. So Mississippi State.
Missouri's weekend starters.
Missouri's weekend starters are just as bad.
Man,
right. They're all terrible. But so so imagine if Missouri's
against State, you saying?
Yeah, they didn't play any of them. They didn't start any of them. So they saved them all.
So they were going to try. Wow.
Yeah. I give them credit for being creative. I mean, if you're Missouri, what else are you going to do? But, okay, imagine how bad Missouri's weekend starters are. They're bad. Okay, imagine the guys worse than that. That's who they threw against State. So State, jumping all over them. A&M has
they scored 60 runs,
60 runs, whatever it was, against the bottom of the worst pitching staff in the league by far. Today they are scoring 0 against Texas A&M. They're down 8-0 in the 4th.
Misplayed ball, something that we'll see regularly because these teams are, not used to playing with so much more room out in the outfield. Guy falls down. You see the outfielders, trying to in Omaha and in Hoover. You're going to see him fall down. It's common, just trying to race to a ball because they're having to run farther and they're running at full speed. And it was called a double. Scored a double, but it was an error. It was a misplayed ball, and that's what kind of got the whole inning going as Lavalette finished it off with a grand slam.
That was a 6-run second for A&M, and they tacked on 2 in the 3rd, so it's 8-0 through 4 innings now. After a pretty chalky first day of the SEC tournament, all the favorites won. The team that's most affected by what happened on day 1, of course, is Kentucky, who lost a couple of RPI points and is going to be right on that tournament bubble at 13-17. Now
I'll say they're in.
I think they're in. I certainly wouldn't. I would certainly spend the rest of my week rooting for favorites in the other conference tournaments if I were them. But I think they will eke in as the let's say 13th SEC team. A&M wins today, but I don't think they're going.
What Todd Walker was making the point yesterday about Ole Miss. I think it was like Texas San Antonio that would have stolen a bid and blew like a 4-run lead with 2 outs or in the last inning to clinch it. And that would have taken Ole Miss's bid that year.
Oh, that year. Okay.
Yeah. Well, they were the last team in.
It was because UTSA is really good this year. Yeah, maybe so.
He was talking about it yesterday on the broadcast.
Ole Miss was the last team in, so I'm sure that I believe him. I don't remember the specific instance, but I know they were the last team
UTSA.
In. Yeah,
it was definitely a Sun Belt Cuse American team, whatever.
UTSA is really good. They won the American by I think it was 4 or 5 games this year. They got a top 25 RPI.
Really,
this particular year, yeah, they're really good. Conference tournaments throughout the country. We saw the Big Ten's doing their tournament at Charles Schwab, which I think
they do it there every year.
It's cool until you see the stands. And, I mean, I don't know what they're drawing for that thing because it's hard to tell.
They had about 500 for Nebraska game last night.
And that's Nebraska, which is the closest in proximity.
60.
And the park holds 26,000, I think, or something like that. They
nobody allowed in the outfield.
It's tough, And
it looked pretty cold. They were bundled up.
They were. That's the first thing I noticed, too, in the stands. Creighton plays their home games there. And I don't know.
Wind was blowing out, but I mean, Rutgers and Indiana were they were taking they saw those flags and they were taking their cuts. They actually had 4 home runs in the game, 3 solo shots and 1 a 2-run shot, but it was fly ball after fly ball just dying in the air at Charles Schwab. So.
It's still not my favorite park.
No, it sucks. No, it sucks. I mean, what park do you like less? It has no character.
No.
with all of the advantages that that come with all the surrounding areas. Our friends at Veasan are doing shows at Rocco's
Yeah.
this year. There, I mean, like Derek Stevens. He's always he met Short Bull and them the last couple of years over
Mhm.
there, and I mean, he's got some of his guys going over there from Veasan and doing their shows this year. So they all of the baseball village and the mattress
Everything
factory and
around it.
Blatt and Rocco's and all these other it seems like a couple of places pop up within walking distance of the stadium. How about was it Let It Fly? Is that what the
Yeah.
I mean, that
Downtown.
is a fine ass, sport. Big TVs. Mike Miller put his money into. So there's so much support and development around the stadium. Stadium sucks.
Yeah. To say
It
nothing of the fact
sucks,
that there's
man.
actually somewhere to park.
It is
Okay.
sterile.
There
It
was
is
nowhere to park at Rosenblatt. I mean, parking was a chore.
well for you old schoolers. Tulane Stadium. You're in a
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Right.
You're in a neighborhood. So.
And it's got ample parking. Okay, so that's good. But the baseball part of it, I'm not a fan. I haven't been a fan, and now I can say that without uh, the inherent bias coming in. Well, LSU's never won there. That's why you don't like there. No, they won there. I still don't like the park.
No,
There's too much foul territory.
sucks,
the outfield
man.
the outfield doesn't play where I think a college baseball park should play. There's too much room behind home plate. The sterile, we've talked about that. That's absolutely.
And the funny thing is, the dimensions were the same.
And they did it on purpose, thinking
Yeah,
that
to try and mimic
it would
Rosenblatt,
play,
but one's on a bluff and one's facing the river.
in a hole.
So
basically.
and facing the river.
Yes, yeah, it is. The other news: South Carolina lost last night to Florida. Their season is over, but the state, which is the paper of record in South Carolina, reporting this morning that Paul Maneri will be back as South Carolina's coach next
Surprised?
year. Yes and no.
Wait, whoa, Max, you heard that?
Yes and no. That's the old non-answer.
Hey, that fence is kind of
Okay.
complaining a little bit.
Way to stick your neck out.
It's a
Charlie.
big-
Take it off me, man.
It is a terrible answer for a radio show, but let me explain myself. I'll cop to being
See, I'm
waffling.
conflicted.
Yeah, I think that if I think that a contract saved him with the new athletic director. I think if Ray
He
Tanner,
didn't want to bite off that much, and that's understandable.
it's somewhere between $5 and $7 million, depending what the rest of the staff does as far as getting other jobs. And I
Hey,
think
we are stretched more than ever, or trying to deal with it. We're going through this thing. We don't know what we're doing, or trying to commit with the top 70 D1 programs
Right.
with this, with this budget and everything else. We're trying to get a governing body to to try and rule on what's legitimate NIL deal and what's just pay for play. Okay, good luck with that. And all of this. And even Tom Mars is no. They actually have to. They just can't. Oh yeah, let's pay this coach not to coach. No, this is they're going to be a little bit more fiscally responsible.
Yeah.
And this is kind of Charlie, I thought he might be gone because this guy didn't hire him.
That's a big deal. If Ray Tanner was there,
it is.
if Ray Tanner was there, I thought he was safe no matter what. But Ray Tanner retired, and so it's the guy that didn't hire you. This is just this situation. This is every athletic director wants their guy in. Okay, so if Ray Tanner had been there, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. I'd said no. There's no way Ray Tanner's going to hire him and then fire him after a year.
Of course
he knows
not.
the guy. But when Tanner retired, that put it in play. Now,
I thought it was a flip of the coin.
yeah, and that's kind of why I said yes and
But-
no.
but-
I know it's a terrible answer.
I know. I'm picking on, but I say the same thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I wouldn't have been surprised either way.
If the buyout would have been half of what it was, I don't know, man. That's
Charlie, they
If it
still
had
at this time they are.
Yeah,
It's not
no.
just if LSU's doing it. What is South Carolina doing?
times 10, and the House settlement
Okay.
comes down today, tomorrow, or Friday to finalize this thing. That's when revenue sharing kicks in. It's $20.5 million you got to come up with from somewhere next year if you want to remain competitive in the Southeastern Conference. So yeah, Maneri was quoted to look. We are ready for the portal to open, which I think is June 2nd. We've got some junior college kids coming in. We'll be a lot better next year. Here at LSU, I'll just say he did not like that first team at all. There was a lot of house cleaning after that first year, and the second team was very good.
Well,
They got
he
to
wants
Omaha.
a different he wants a different culture than Smoke
Yes.
Laval. That was pretty obvious.
And so this is a different landscape. 2008 was his second season here. In 2026, the landscape is a lot different. I don't know how much money he's got to go shopping with. I know he knows baseball talent. I know he knows how to coach. Does he have enough money to be competitive? We'll find out. But he's coming back for another year at South Carolina.
Doesn't help that your AD was a former baseball coach and he gone now.
Yeah.
So I mean, good luck after a disastrous first season for you to to get more money out of the more of the pie.
Yeah.
The overall athletic budget from the new AD.
Yeah, and I think the budget plus the fact that Tanner hired him, would have been a rough look. Ray Tanner is there. Ray Tanner is there.
Charlie,
Skip Bertman.
this is come on, man. Maneri's past his prime. This is kind of a cash grab, man. I mean,
I don't think he would have taken any other job. I don't think he would have taken any other job other than.
But we've seen guys past their prime in whatever sport have some success. So I don't want to say like it's not that he couldn't go there and have some sort of success. But you're not getting him at his prime, and he hasn't even worked in this landscape.
No. It's all.
And we've seen guys much closer to the prime say, "Man, get me the hell out of here."
Yeah, they don't want to do it. Sometimes, well, no, I'm gonna let that go.
And in this league, it's a deep, the baseball now, the basketball, even. I mean, all the sports, all the three major sports are. It's deep. The water's deep, bro.
It's unforgiving. And Maneri made a good point, although it probably wasn't taken real well over there. He says, the last guy LSU threw at us in the last series, the last inning of the last game, was 6'8", throwing 100 miles an hour. Okay, that's the last guy that they threw at him. Oh man, that's pretty damn deep, right? I mean, he's not the last pitcher on the staff, but he was the last guy they threw in the series. Guy throws 100 miles an hour. He's 6'8".
Did they have any type of success after Tanner?
They have not been back to the World Series since then.
So they're just a one coach program. To this point,
they made one
because they never did anything before.
Right.
I mean, we can go back to Mookie Wilson. I remember that back in the early '80s, where he was playing with them, or '70s even. That they went to the College World Series.
I don't think I knew that Mookie played.
Charlie, just stick around. That's plenty. I know that you don't know.
Good gracious.
Max.
You know what else you know that I don't know?
I'm trying to explain Max the Bush push today.
Oh, we got to get to the Tushy push.
No, the Bush push.
Oh, the Bush push. Yeah, at Notre Dame.
What year was that?
2004.
I think it was 4 to keep their streak alive. Yes.
Yeah,
and why was it a big deal?
Made Charlie Weiss a lot of money.
Because it was illegal.
Yeah.
No. A moral victory.
Yeah. His moral victory was the most expensive moral victory in the history.
Real
of
quick,
football.
I'm trying to follow this stuff through Dellinger. It's very complex, with all this, the new thing that they're trying to push with the top 70. If you want to be involved, and maybe some extra invites outside the Power Four that want to commit this as well, and they're not playing yet. Right? But one guy that on social media that I followed that weighed in on this and said, this thing, some of these university presidents realize this thing ain't standing up in court at all. That's why they're trying to scramble to revise it right now.
Yeah.
Tom Mars, what's his record against the NCAA?
I think he's undefeated.
I think he's undefeated as well.
Explain who he is.
He's the guy that started doing the eligibility, and this was before it was eligibility favorable, or. Like who was it was a quarterback. Was it Shea Patterson?
Justin Fields was the big one that I remember.
Justin Fields, but was it Shea Patterson?
Shea Patterson, the kid from
they went to Michigan.
Yeah, but the one that went to Miami from Ohio State.
But
Tate,
Tate Martell.
Tate Martell,
and then they started doing it, left and right, and so who's the latest and wants to stay in college forever?
Oh wait, I read this. It wasn't.
We can't take another year of this, Charlie. We can't do it.
Wait, I forgot. I read this yesterday. Who was
Tennessee? Zakai Ziegler.
Oh,
we can't do this again. I can't take another year of Jimmy complaining.
I have to balance it because I thought he was going to be the first pick in the draft. I mean, he's the elite defensive player.
Tell us for lunch. You are not allowed to criticize this Kai Ziegler in May. Okay, confine it to January to March.
Go away, boy. The chef's lunch over here have been really. How about the 20 for 20, the 225 edition? Buddy Braden over here, the chef was featured. Man, he is into it. He's got a lot of passion. He really loves what he does. Whenever he explains the specials over here to me, Charlie, he is very detail oriented. That's what separates, whatever industry you're in, and certainly cooking for it. But he's a real prize that we over here. Really, reason why I bring that up, and that he was featured and where he's detail oriented when he tells me and things like that. He really cares about the work and the products that he puts out, is because we're more than just pizza over here. So it's really, really good. Chef's lunches are available Tuesday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., like a half sandwich with a salad or a side. Sandwiches, you can do the meatball, the Italian hero, or the chicken cutlet. Both Max and I are A-pluses on a chicken cutlet. And do the salads and sides, the Caesar, sensation salad, the grana fries, the grilled broccolini, or the fingerling potatoes. Happy hour is 2 to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Friday. Half off selected beverages, half off selected pizzas. Do a pepperoni, 4 cheese, a classic cheese, or margarita pizza for half price. 2 to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Friday. We got different appetizers like the baked goat cheese, the olives, the Rocca meatballs, fried mozzarella, or the black truffle popcorn. And don't forget Tuesdays, 6 p.m. till close. Half off bottles of wine. That's right. Half price bottles of wine. We got 3 different sparkling wines. We got a rosé. We got 10 whites and 10 reds as well. Everything from the whites from a Sauvignon Blanc to Chardonnay, and the reds from a Merlot to a Bordeaux or a Sangiovese. It's at Rocca Pizzeria, and that's why we say these things, because the Neapolitan style pizza is really a little bit Americanized, but give a little bit more firm aspect to it. But it's great over here, and we love it. But they do a lot more than just pizza here at Rocca.
Live at Rocca, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
This is Charles Henniger. For total maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge, or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Get Moss, Max, and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Rocca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Rocca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow's Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salad, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Rocca Pizzeria on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All right, a couple of quick updates. A&M leads Mississippi State 8-0 in the bottom of the fifth inning. This is the makeup of the game that was postponed last night. A&M did throw Ryan Prager, their ace. Mississippi State did not throw Pico Cone, their number one pitcher in this game. And over at the ACC tournament, I just find this interesting. Cal is leading Wake Forest 13-7. Why does that matter? It doesn't, except that Cal was averaging about 3.5 runs a game for the last 2 months.
Oh, now that Park is playing.
And they've scored 25 in the last 16 innings. So just food for thought.
You know why I know is because, man, when they hit a home run, all the lights go off.
Oh,
they
yeah.
Blink off and on. I mean, it's where the Durham Bulls play. If you hit the bull, you get a free steak.
Yeah, yeah. I love the movie. So, yeah.
Well, it's real life, too.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. And Cal, who's, sort of an interloper, should be in the ACC over there in Durham, just lighting it up. They haven't hit like this since the end of March. So we'll keep you up to date on the games. As recently as, a few hours ago, it looked like the tush push was going to go by the wayside.
It's all based on Rossini's report?
That's the one that I'd seen.
Yeah. Yesterday and Monday and yesterday, ESPN was reporting that the straw vote was 16-16, right down the middle. The vote needed 24 votes to pass. This morning, they thought they had it, that they were going to get the play out. Final vote, 22-10. Tush push stays for another year.
22-10.
22-10. Jason Kelsey went up to lobby, along with Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of the Eagles, to lobby for the play. And it sticks around, but it was close. So it comes up two votes short. This has not been a thing. We were talking about this during the break. This has not been a thing for a really long time, where it's been legal for a while, but it hasn't been like a thing where everybody was noticing it until Philadelphia.
It was illegal for a lot longer than it's been
longer.
legal.
Yeah. And we honestly didn't even notice it until Philadelphia started having this degree of success with it.
That's not true.
Okay.
Because about the last 8 to 10 years, I'm like, when did assisting abating the runner become not being enforced?
No, right, but nobody had this kind of success with it.
No, Charlie. But if you're watching every game on Sundays, and I mean they're doing it, and they're doing it in college now. I mean, it was 2004 was the Bush push when Matt Leinart in South Bend, they were down to their last play. They ran a quarterback sneak and he pushed them in. It was illegal at the time.
When everybody who didn't know the rule before certainly learned it then. That was the highest profile game SC was,
at the
rolling.
high school level, the heyday of Salmon, Bill Stubbs, when he beat Cecil the Diesel Collins, when he beat John Curtis and some others. They lost a playoff game to Shaw because the winning touchdown with less than a minute to go was overruled, was denied because of Bay assisting the runner on the touchdown. In 2005, the NFL clarified its stance on pushing and pulling runners, officially allowing pushing, but banning pulling and carrying. By the way, pulling is not being enforced as much.
I thought it was still illegal until you read that. I thought pulling was still illegal.
It is illegal.
Okay, that's
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, it is illegal, but it's not being enforced.
Okay. Yeah.
And so you start see. So not just a push, but how many times you see a ball carry kind of bottled up, and then here comes the lineman, and boom. It's not just the design tush push.
Right.
It's
No,
common, and it's not football to me. I mean, so football can survive a century with not allowing it. Look, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I don't think this is just sour grapes because it took the Eagles and a quarterback who can, squat 600 pounds, them to, to execute it right. I think if all of the teams executed it properly, I don't think the damn high-priced quarterback wants to deal with this. Well, minus the Josh Allens of the world, and he can't do it right because he was way too high. I mean, just watch Tom Brady do the quarterback sneak. He never got stopped.
And he would kind of pick a spot. He would like take a half a step
He would
back
go down,
and he would get down low, and he would make this thing. The Bills and the Eagles have run this thing 163 times in the last 3 seasons. They have scored a touchdown or gotten a first down 87% of the time. Now the rest
put it higher than that.
It feels like it. The rest of the league is successful 71% of the time, although they run it far less frequently. So this is a very difficult play to stop. What do you think? Okay, so if
you don't think Chris Jones got hurt? I mean, he got hurt on that play, the Super Bowl. Big player.
I think that there's way more injuries and things that happen at the bottom of these piles than the NFL is willing to admit, because all they'll tell you right now is there's no data to back up that there is more injuries on this play than in normal play. And I simply don't believe that. That's not what my eyes tell me. Okay. I see the pushing and pulling. I know what goes on. I've heard it from enough players to know what goes on at the bottom of those piles. We've seen, the evidence is that you got this mass of humanity, 1,200 pounds worth of guys that are pushing and pulling. Yeah, probably somebody.
Well, that's the deal. You don't want your quarterback. You want to run quarterbacks, even a quarterback sneak. Do you want your quarterback at the bottom of that pile?
I don't want him at that kind of risk. But Buffalo apparently feels like it's worth the risk. They've got the reigning MVP, and they ran him out there as much as anybody except for Philadelphia. The rule sticks around for another year. I'm happy to see if there's at least some momentum to get rid of it. They came up 2 votes short. Maybe next year they'll get
you want it out too.
I do.
It's not football. Huh?
I feel the same way you do. I think it's a rugby play, and it's not a football play. It doesn't increase my enjoyment of the game at all. And I think by the way that Philadelphia, if they just ran a straight quarterback sneak with nobody pushing him,
he'd be fine.
They would get far more.
You don't think Jalen Hurts is more cut out physically to do a quarterback sneak than Tom Brady?
Jalen Hurts is doing about 80% of the heavy lifting on these plays. The other 20% is the guy pushing him.
He's taking the brunt, but Charlie, if you execute it properly, it really can't be stopped. It can't be stopped. If you get
how much of it?
The right tight ends, not a wide receiver, tight ends pushing right there, but you really can't stop it.
I agree, and I think that Jalen Hurts, strong as he is, would convert most of his quarterback sneaks on 4th and 1 or less, even without somebody pushing it.
Yeah, I think some of the misses are like on 3rd and like 2 that they go for it.
That's not in this metric. This is
I'm telling you, with my recollection, it would because, and then they'll go back with it again. Well, that's 50%, but no, that's still, so you
run it on 3rd, knowing you running it again on 4th.
Yeah, you've seen that.
Yes.
Where they're going, but they do it twice. How are you going to stop us twice?
For a yard, for 3 feet? No.
Not even, but they'll do it on 3rd down with like 2 because they know who wants to get in the way of that. Sometimes you see teams just almost like back off.
Now, you bring up a good point with Brady because he was the master at that. He would take a half step back, pick the little crease that he needed, put his head down, dive forward, and most of the time he got the first down.
I think I attribute that probably. How old was Belichick's girlfriend when she first devised that the execution of that quarterback sneak?
I think she was 4. Boy, pre-K. We really got to stop. Okay, this can go on all year. We really.
Hey, look, I'll root for love. Okay.
Okay.
I'll root for love. Don't be, come on. Don't rain on that man's parade.
We're finding out where they're registered.
Ashley Donald, Mariana Haynes, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, our great team over at Legacy Title. Chad, yes, indeed. Natalie Bradford Smith, Mr. Chad Reynolds, our great team at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title, a full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana, buying, building, or refinancing you and only you. have the right to choose exactly who does it. Why not choose our friends who support our show that you listen to? That's right, our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Rocca, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lagniappe on Perkins and Bluebonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Bayou Ford powers the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch us live daily. Find what you missed on demand and subscribe to each show's channel to get notified when we go live or new videos arrive. Plus, discover exclusive YouTube broadcasts you can't find anywhere else. From AFR to OTB and everything in between. It's the Watch 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel powered by Bayou Ford.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Patial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988.
Uh-oh, they let the big dog out.
Boom! Out of nowhere.
It's time for the big dog, Randy McKay, with his best picks.
Big dog, where are you? We start with that. Who knows where you are? I mean, you in the snow? Huh? Is it still snowing up there?
No, Colorado's finally starting to get nice. This is my last week here, and I'll be on the road up to Deadwood, South Dakota, and then up to North Dakota here for the summer months.
Charlie, you ever been to Colorado in the summer?
Yeah, actually,
Oh, boy.
our daughter lived there for a little while, so it's
There you go.
it's fantastic.
I mean, I have not. My son informed me he'll be in Colorado for a little bit for the summer. So,
He lives well.
yes, he sure does. Good gig if he can get one. So anyway, but Randy, I want to go see like concert at Red Rock or something like that. The snow. I've been skiing in Colorado actually, but anyway, but I don't know. You like to do a little hiking, whatever in the summertime?
Yeah, I like to walk the mountain trails around here.
Okay.
There's a lot of them, especially if you come to the Blackhawk Central City area. There's all kinds of trails and state parks, and you can walk around here. And hopefully, not encounter a mountain lion or anything, but everything's pretty good. But
oh, come
so
on,
far, so
Randy,
good with me.
big dog. I got you minus $1.30 versus that mountain lion. Okay, all right. I mean,
I'm taking the feline.
Hey, are we headed for a? Let's talk about your Nuggets first. Started out strong. Now look, your boy Gordon. I mean, they're already thin. Good. Your thoughts on them being bounced in 7?
Yeah, they gave just about all they could had, considering the injury situations there. What a gutty effort just for Gordon even to get on the court there, and he actually I think led the game in rebounds. It just kind of got away from him that second quarter, and then it snowballed after that. But yeah, just not a very deep team. They weren't a very good defensive team all year, and that kind of gave away to his head there in that game 7. But what a great effort. Joker is what Joker is. He's quite an athlete. Doesn't look like an athlete, but yeah, he can go big minutes and do what he does. And hopefully NBA is getting to see how great he is. I mean, he's generation type player. So, great effort. I think the coach is going to remain there. He looked like he did a pretty good job, Edelman. So we'll see what they do in free agency, or maybe get some depth on that team.
They're a luxury tax team, and they can sign Joker to an extension as soon as the finals are over. Is there any indication that he's going to do anything but sign that extension? Because we all took a double take when Malone got released that late in the season. It was Joker in any way unhappy? So he can sign that contract as soon as the finals over. Randy, any indication that he won't?
Yeah, I don't see that. I see him being a Nugget probably here for life, going on a limb there a little bit. But yeah, I see him being. Yeah, if they got rid of him, then there's going to be a lot of disappointment here in this area. So I don't see that happening.
Do you think they'll bring Russell Westbrook back? He is a free agent.
Russ had a better year than most. Last couple of years, I told my buddy who bets NBA a lot that this Russell Westbrook has really gone downhill. I call him negative EV every time he's on court because his plus minus was so bad.
Yeah,
and he takes he shoots some dumb shots that he can't make. But this year he adjusted with the team, and he kind of played pretty well with them. Knew his role a little better. So so I could see them adding him for one more year.
if he could just be coachable. He has some ability. But yes, I mean, he was, when I thought the series was lost in game 5, he's airballing threes. When they had the 9-point lead to start the fourth quarter on the road in game 5 when it was tied 2 apiece, they'd have been coming home for 6 to clinch the series. And that's how OKC got beat last year. They lost the home court advantage, and Dallas, won a close one in Game 6 and avoided having to go back to Oklahoma City for a decisive Game 7. And he was because especially when Joker is out, he can create. He can create, but attack the rim first, and then kick it out to a more capable shooter. If you can't do it yourself, get to the line. That's fine. But there's some things he can provide, and he did improve but it was still not the perfect balance that you're looking for. And I could look at Game 5 to note that. Randy?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he of course goes back sometimes his old ways, but I could see them still taking him on for one more year to add to that depth, and hopefully they get some other players that could show some signs in there as well. So we'll see what happens.
Good news is that most of the roster is under contract. The bad news is, other than him, the bad news is that the top 4 guys take up 82% of your salary cap. They don't have a lot of money to go shopping, and they don't have high picks in the draft. In fact, they owe Oklahoma City a draft pick, I believe it's 2 years from now. So there's limited amount of resources to go out and improve, but they do bring back most of what they got.
Yeah. He's so hey, so 2005, the NFL clarified the rule on the pushing, pulling, abating the runner, assisting the runner. So for until that point, it was a penalty. But the tush push came 2 votes shy of being banned today by the owners. So 22-10, it needed 24 of the 32. Your thoughts on that, Randy?
Yeah, I've been kind of, speculating that that maybe it would stay. I knew it would be close, but it's a big advantage for a team that has a strong quarterback like Hurts. We've seen how many times he can do it, or a strong center that can really push well. Saw Kelsey, saw them, kind of get stopped a little bit last year with Juergens in there, but you need a strong center. I like to play if you got a good tight end where he goes in motion and comes in and does it. Green Bay's got a good tight end there with the kid from South Dakota State. And I think Baltimore used to do it with their good tight end a few times. I like that way if you don't have a good quarterback to use that play. So I'm actually in favor of it, but I just don't understand why the defense can't push back and have a guy pushing, some of their linemen. So that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, they. I don't know how many of those linemen want to be a part of that. Somebody pushing them even further into it, but I'd have both of my tight ends behind the quarterback and shoving them. So I mean, that's the ideal. We'll see, but I'm not a big fan of it, and I kind of laugh at some people that act like this. This has been around for a long time. It's been outlawed way longer than it's been allowed. It just has been, there's 3 seasons that they took. So they took 17, 18 seasons before they, took advantage of this rule. Randy, the NHL playoffs, are we going to have a rematch? Oilers look like they've got some things, not just with the goalie, but maybe defensively. They are way improved with this whole switch, and we know they got firepower on offense. And they're the Panthers, the defending champs. These 2 teams went 7 games last year in the Stanley Cup Finals. Is it going to be a rematch?
Yeah, I believe so. And you can call it the John Klingberg revenge games coming up here for the Oilers. Of course, John Klingberg was the Dallas defenseman that was their stable for many, many years. They thought he was washed, so now he's an Oiler, and he's playing pretty good. They used him against the Knights, and he stymied their defense, and their goaltending stymied the Knights in the last 2-3 games. There, Skinner didn't give up a goal. So, I mean, he's a big reason for it. And what used to be a detriment to that team, the defense and their depth, is now a strength for this Edmonton Oiler team.
Yeah,
and I definitely favor them in that series. And then we saw what Florida can do to Carolina last night. Once they get rolling, Bobrovsky makes some big saves. That team is pretty tough to beat. So I definitely see the rematch.
Charlie, we don't have to know a whole lot about substitutions and icing and offsides and everything. But we know this in sports: if you're one-dimensional and you can improve your weakness substantially, well, then you're pretty tough.
It helps.
Jaden Daniels last year, if they had an average defense, huh?
Anything
Unless you could have won it all, huh?
At all. A defense that gave up a ton of yards but got some turnovers would have even worked.
We've seen that before.
Yeah.
Huh?
won the black and gold a world title.
Black and gold Super Bowl.
All kinds of yards they gave up. They took the ball away, though.
By the way, get your tickets now, Randy. I'm telling you, black and gold Super Bowl again this year. Huh? I'm sure after the schedule release, you've got a strong lean to the Saints making a run, right?
Not so much.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can keep the fans in the seats there, hopefully keep optimistic. But there's definitely some teams that got the best of the scheduling and some that got
like
the
who?
worst of it. That's for sure.
Like who?
Well, I'll go right away to the AFC East. You look at the Buffalo Bills. I definitely think they got the easiest of the schedules, even though they play some hard teams. But they get all these hard teams off rest and at home. And then you look at the counterpoint here, Miami. They got the worst of it. I mean, they got teams, especially at the end of the season, where they got to go with that cold environment that we like.
Right.
So not looking so good there for, if you're a Dolphins fan. Looking very good if you're a Buffalo Bills fan. In fact, you might – I was down on this team last year, but I definitely see a path to them even being maybe even a number one seed this year.
Very interesting. Other winners and losers, real quick with the schedule.
Yeah, Detroit actually got kind of they had a pretty easy schedule last couple years, and now they play all these good teams on the road,
right?
Off short weeks. So, and I was listening to Derek the other day, and he's actually not even that optimistic with the Lions as much as he was the last couple of years. So, I mean that they got a kind of a tough schedule route, and so did the Packers. Them two teams actually, and the Vikings actually got a kind of a favorable one, even though they got to play, those two games in the United Kingdom. But so definitely look at that. There's some schedule advantages, schedule disadvantages, and then, of course, then we'll have our future plays coming up here, in the summer.
Okay, yeah, keep us in mind. You and your crew on anything tonight in the NBA game in New York?
I kind of favor the Indiana Pacers in the series, so maybe look at them. But I think that's pretty a popular take. I just see them having a little bit more. I see them being pretty even with the Knicks, and them having a little bit more talent than this Knicks team. But it's going to be a tough spot here, maybe in Game 1.
Follow Randy on Twitter at RR39. Good luck, Randy. Be nice to our Saints, huh? We in Mickey we trust. Okay, Mickey Loomis. We've been trying to talk Charlie into a little bit more positivity with the Saints, but.
It's been a real
tough
problem
sometimes.
for me.
Thank you, Randy.
That offensive line. That's my take on the Saints.
There you go. All right, Randy. Good luck, buddy.
All right, thanks, guys. Good luck, everybody out there.
Don't forget our friends at Workbox and Workbox Services. Our storage containers. We have the perfect custom storage containers over at Workbox. Shipping containers and tool storage trailers for your construction sites, business, school, office. We have multiple sizes and options to meet all of your storage needs. Our weather-tight steel and aluminum containers come in multiple sizes and feature locking double doors to ensure easy access and maximum security. And we can supply all sizes of shipping containers, 8 by 8 all the way up to 8 by 40 feet, and provide turnkey customization of rental and sale units to meet your exact needs. You need it for rental, you need it for storage, no problem. 8 by 8 containers, perfect for solution for tight spaces if you only need a small space for tools or equipment. 8 by 10, smaller size of our 8 by 10 storage containers make them the ideal solution for locations with limited space. And then the bigger ones, and then, of course, the 8 by 40 storage container, a large option for projects requiring more storage space. Workbox Services, 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
Live at Rocca, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
This is Charles Hanegraaff. Tee up your savings with a great CD rate from Home Bank. For a limited time, you can earn 4.25% annual percentage yield on a 3 or 7 month CD. If you're looking for a longer term, you can take advantage of 4.05 APY on an 11-month CD or 3.75 on a 14-month CD. The minimum balance is only $2,500. Stop by a Home Bank location to speak with a local banker today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, big cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video, and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
Do you know what you would do if you were in a car wreck? It's easy to panic when you or someone you care about is hurt in an accident. Who will pay the medical bills? Who will pay the car repair? Who will deal with the insurance companies for you? Protect your rights. You need someone you can trust. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 343-1111. The law offices of O.C. Brown will handle everything for you. 343-1111 or online at ocbrown.com. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Segan near Perkins.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Rocca Pizzeria on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
A&M continues to lead Mississippi State now 9-0 in the top of the 7th inning. So they got a run rule is a possibility there. Second game looks like the Saturday starters going for Tennessee and Alabama. Marcus Phillips, who is the Saturday starter for Tennessee, is announced 3-4, 3.72 ERA. Riley Quick lobbying for the ball for Bama on 4 days rest, 8-2, 3.54 ERA. He's pitched Saturdays all year for Alabama, but he's been their best arm, and he's pitched better of late than Phillips has. He's only given up 7 earned runs in his last 4 starts. He's gotten them into at least the 5th, and most of the time the 6th on those starts. Phillips in his last 3 has not gotten out of the 5th, and he got roughed up at Vanderbilt pretty good. Didn't get out of the 4th there, gave up 5 earned runs. Bama may be worth a look here at plus 155. The total is also down a little bit at 11.5 with 2 pretty good pitchers going season-long stats. That's at the SEC tournament in Hoover. Back with hour number 2 at Rocca Pizzeria, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross-Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross-Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Hey, Hanny. Hanny, you there?
Today and visit our website, GEAUXTommies.com.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim.
Hey, Hanny, you there?
Yeah.
Hey, can you text Scott again to tell him to call us? He's doing it with his phone, like his phone's
All right.
or something.
Sure.
LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit ALS.org to learn more. That's ALS.org.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Enjoying the finer things in life is his forte. Let's bring in Scott Rabelais from The Advocate.
And we bring in Rab, who is enjoying the finer things on kind of a gloomy, rainy day here in Baton Rouge. Rab, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm still trying to stop hyperventilating from that finish in the Preakness the other day. That was I've never seen anything quite like that.
No, you rarely see a horse get knocked around as much as journalism did and recover from it in a race of that magnitude. I thought it was one of the bigger runs that I've seen.
If you think you are hyperventilating, what do you think about the owners who saw the stud fees going up in flames as he's banging around? I mean, a 1,000-pound horse with skinny legs. I mean, it's with that kind, it's not a contact sport, not supposed to be, horse racing. So yeah, no, it was, but with it comes, sort of legend. It's sort of, because it was not a build as it was journalism and the rest of the cast, but boy, it was flip-flop. Everything we thought was going to have a lot of drama and excitement and finality didn't really produce for us. Game 6 in New York, Game 7 in Oklahoma City, and and then the PGA, but we got it on the horse track where what was supposed to be a rout.
That's why we watch the sports, to see what happens. And hopefully you see something you've never seen before, and that's certainly the case on Saturday.
Yeah.
Scott, a week at LSU, the one big move and one non-move. So let's start with the move. William Tate taking the president's job at Rutgers, and so that leaves the chair vacant in Baton Rouge. First of all, your thoughts about the job Tate did in regards to athletics. I mean, we're not going to get into all the other aspects of this job, just as it relates to athletics, and what you think the next move, I know you did a column on this, what the next move might mean for LSU athletics.
Yeah, I think as far as was he as impactful as, say, a Mark Emmert? No, I mean, but Mark Emmert had to really change the culture. He just had to kind of be supportive and go along with the things that Scott Woodward wanted to do in terms of making these big hires like Brian Kelly and Kim Mulkey, and you can say Jay Johnson, and spending the money that they've spent and going forward to try to be a top level program. I mean, he's been very supportive. I've seen him at lots and lots of games over the last 4 years, and of course his wife Kim was the team chaplain for the women's basketball team. So he seemed to appreciate athletics, when it's successful and when it's when things are positive, being a good front porch for the university, and being able to enhance the university. That remains to be seen if the next person will do that. Obviously, this person is going to be appointed by Governor Landry, who I don't think has a huge love or appreciation for LSU athletics or anything like that. I mean, I think he sees them as kind of a means to an end, as was what we've seen with some of his moves and edicts and that sort of thing. So is he going to get somebody who does like athletics and does help athletics, doesn't hinder it? That remains to be seen. And then what does it mean for Scott Woodward? As I wrote in my column, since Governor Landry took office, people who have been under previous regimes are being kind of are going away. Is this going to be something that's is Scott Woodward going to be someone who becomes a target for the next school president via the governor? So I don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty out there, and that's not what you want, obviously, in the athletics program. Brian Kelly talked, of course, when he came here about alignment, and he met with alignment and vision with Scott Woodward and with William Tate. And it remains to be seen who is the next person and what their vision is going to be.
I don't think that the governor has put his mark on LSU athletics very much. I think the two things that people would know him for is the anthem thing and Omar the Tiger. I would just assume the governor stay out of LSU athletics, and not just this governor, any governor stay out of it, other than appointing the president. And I feel the same way about the president over the athletic director. I think he should manage the athletic director and let the athletic director manage the athletic program. You brought up Emmert. That was the one exception to the rule, because usually when you skip a step, things go sideways. That was a specific case. Joe Dean was on his way out. He was at the very end of his tenure as athletic director. The 2 football coaches that he had hired before had failed, one of them spectacularly, and there was no way that Joe Dean was going to hire another football coach. He was damn lucky that he wasn't moved along before he was. So Emirates had to take control of that search, and of course, came up with the ace with Saban. But that's the exception. The rule is let the chain of command play out, at least as far as I'm concerned. The other move or non-move is that Beth Torina apparently will be back for another season as the head softball coach. We've talked about this a little bit. Her record is good. She's won 70% of her games. She's won 56% of her conference games. They have been in regionals every year. They've made a number of super regionals, and they made the College World Series 4 times under her tenure. But the program has stagnated a little bit, and there is no plausible explanation for losing to an in-state school twice in the last 3 years in the postseason when the games mean the most. She'll get another year, Scott. Where would you put her footing right now?
Yeah, I mean it's a little shaky, certainly. I think there's a lot of dissatisfaction with the program. I don't think. I wrote also about this earlier this week. I just didn't think you could make a move against her when they had had all those things that you mentioned. They still the number 5 RPI in the country, still won over 40 games in the toughest conference in the country, and we're a number 10 national seed, not a top 8, which is what they wanted, which everybody wants, obviously. But it's still a number 10 national seed. It's not like they went 20 and 30, this season or something like that. So it's but yeah, has the program stagnated? Maybe even regressed a little bit. Maybe so. She made a very big statement in her post game after they got eliminated by SLU on Saturday that we're never going to be in this position again and stuff like that. Brave talk, and that's great, but it's never good when you have to hear a coach justify their existence, which is what she was basically doing. I think so. Yeah, I think it's not apples to apples, but I think he hasn't been here nearly as long. We give Matt McMahon another year under his circumstances. I didn't see how you couldn't give Beth Torina another year under her circumstances. So, yeah. Let's see where they are at this point next season, and see if there's any happen or if they can improve. She's been a very solid coach. She's probably kind of like McMahon, got to be a little more dynamic and trying to bring in players to help them advance the program, and we'll see if she can do that. But I think she's earned definitely another chance to do that, in my opinion. Not everyone's opinion, but it's my opinion.
I think she's done enough over the years to get another swing. But Scott, fair or unfair, we all know the advantages that LSU softball has over Southeastern, and to lose on your dirt twice by little brother like that, little sister, whatever you want. I mean, that's got to apply a lot of pressure for next year moving forward, huh?
And 2 years after you lost to UL Lafayette on your,
UL Lafayette's got a lot. They've accomplished way more in there. So,
but you're never.
Charlie, a lot more.
No,
than
they have, but you're not supposed to lose to them.
I understand, but this is South.
This is worse.
Southeastern's never accomplished.
This is worse.
How many trips they got to Oklahoma City?
None.
Okay, how many does ULL have? They've got a few.
A couple, yeah.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
Okay, they've been there before.
Yes.
Yeah.
No doubt. We were doing the press conferences at softball inside their covered batting cages across the walkway from their performance center, which is just, I haven't been in it, but I'm just peering in the window. It looks fantastic. Clearly, these are things that Southeastern doesn't have, right? But they have, they probably wouldn't have seen it as a 4 seed, quite honestly, but that's neither here nor there. But what you're saying is very valid. Yeah, they look like the premier program in the state when they're playing LSU. And when they were playing LSU, they were getting their teeth kicked in by Nebraska. So that shows you that LSU had very little chance to beat Nebraska in advance, in my opinion, to go to the Super Regional. So all those things taken into account, it's not a good look for LSU. They've got to get better, and we go out and get some. Jim Kleinpeter, who covers the team for us, said they got to go out and get some power hitters. I haven't seen any confirmed reports. I've seen rumors of Sidney Berzon, the pitcher, is in the transfer portal.
I believe that's
confirmed
now. I believe that's confirmed now that should bring your best pitcher. She's 2-time All-American.
Yeah. So you've got some major things to overhaul there to be better. So the challenge is there. The challenge is significant. it's a significant hill to climb for next year for sure.
All right, Scott, the PGA Championship, I made this comment, I think, to Jimmy on the weekend and then on the air one of these days this week, that if you want to watch golf, Scotty Scheffler is a wonderful watch. He's great. He's unflappable at times, and he's accomplishing things that put him in the elite of the sport. If you want to root for somebody other than him, or if you want to bet on the game, he makes it awfully tough. So I'm not putting him in Tiger's class yet when Tiger was dominating at his prime. But if you think about the beginning of Tiger's run, when he won his first Masters, when he won his first U.S. Open, what do you think about when you're watching Scotty Scheffler play?
I think you got to stay healthy. Obviously that's always the key.
And tell him to quit
I
cooking
think
at Christmas, okay?
That's right. Leave the ravioli. Just buy the ravioli in the store, like I just did today. Actually, I think, in my opinion, we're seeing the beginnings of an all-time great player, an all-time great career. He's already got 2 of the 4 majors. He's starting to win, and he's starting to win in dominating fashion. I mean, he was $1 million under par at the Byron Nelson. I looked this up. Tiger Woods had 82 PGA Tour wins. 20 of those were by 4 strokes or more. Scotty Scheffler has 15 PGA Tour wins. 6 of those are by 4 strokes or more so far, including this weekend's victory in the PGA Championship. He's not just winning; he's dominating. Is he going to be the favorite at Oakmont in the U.S. Open? Yes. Is he going to be the favorite in Ireland at the British Open? I don't know about that, since it's home turf for guys like Rory and Shane. But we'll see how the season plays out to that point. But boy, he looks like he overcame that hand injury, and he had to slowly build up, and he wasn't playing badly, just wasn't winning, and now he's starting to win again. And we'll see if he can get 3 in a row this weekend. The Charles Schwab is Colonial in Fort Worth, another backyard tournament for Scotty. I just think the sky's the limit for him, and of course, Ted Scott from Lafayette, his caddy, they make a very good team. All the success started when he got Ted on the bag, and he matured as a golfer, obviously, but he's just got all the makeup. And when he says stuff, when you hear guys say stuff like, "I don't care about the money. I just want to win," and it's like, obviously the money comes along. He knows that, but boy, he's on his way as long as he just can take care of his body and stay away from the dangerous ravioli.
Yeah. He had a great line about Ted Scott. He said at the turn on Sunday that he had missed 8 out of 9 either approach shots or tee shots to the left. And he said, "What did Ted say?" Ted said, "Aim further right." Okay, well, that worked pretty good, It seemed logical to me. I'm making fun because I know Ted Scott's very important to what he does. But he said, "What did Ted tell you?" He said, "Aim further right." Okay, well, pretty sound advice, Rab. Hey, we appreciate it, man. Take it easy. We'll talk to you next week when we'll have all of the NCAA tournament stuff for baseball ready to go.
I'll be in Destin for the spring meeting next week, guys. We will.
Yes, your annual vacation. They never have that thing in northern Alabama or something. They always put it down someplace nice.
It's their little reward. It's their little trip
of all
the
the
beach.
things,
At the beach.
That's
the
one
the
event
golf course.
I've never covered. I've never been there. We're always in the middle of baseball at that time. I've never been to that thing, but
Yeah.
I understand it is one very nice event.
I love when Bernie Machen was the university president at Florida at the time.
Yeah.
They had just won the national championship. It was not a sour grapes approach. He was talking about the schedule realignment. He had like 100 pages or whatever presented. He was passing out. They threw in the golf. We ain't doing anything. We're going to play golf.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's honest.
Not when Utah goes undefeated and they're left out of the playoff, or this when Florida State's left out. No, they won it, and he still wanted to change it. They said, "Nah, man, come on, man, we're not down here for that."
Him and Jeremy Foley were a heck of a 1-2 punch in keeping Florida exactly what they wanted to do. Second only to Alabama.
No, Florida didn't want to, Charlie. He wanted to change it.
Oh, he wanted to change
it. No, he wanted
to
change it. You're missing the whole point.
I did
they
miss
won
it with
the
Mason.
national championship, and he was still trying to change it.
Okay.
It was not your typical. That's why.
See, I don't remember
You don't
him
remember that?
I remember Foley a lot more than I remember Machen, though.
No, both of them. But the university president was there. The guys that are trying to figure out the NCAA, what to do with it, and all this stuff right now, those guys in charge, I know it's dangerous territory, but they told him hit the road. Yeah.
Okay.
It was either after 06 or 08.
Yeah, they won the national championship both of those
Yeah.
years. And in 06, they won the football and the basketball.
Yeah, no, but he wanted to change. He wanted to do exactly what you've been talking about forever. He wanted to get off LSU because they were duking it out. They were sharing national championships.
Yeah.
At that point, the game that was the elite. That was the best series for that stretch. That's why Hester values that series so much more than others because there was such big stakes.
Yeah.
On the line.
I noticed they didn't say anything when Curly Hallman was the coach. They were fine. They were fine when that was the thing. That was the case.
They were 58 to 3. I was in the stands for that one. Were you?
For about a half a quarter. I was sleeping on my sofa in my apartment when that game ended.
No, yes, indeed. Don't forget my friends over at Go Chevrolet, my buddy, Mr. Lee Carney, and the great staff over at Go Chevrolet, man. Hey, I don't just talk about the vehicles at Go Chevrolet. I drive one. So, the Trailblazers, the Silverados, the Tahoes, like I had the Suburbans. Yes, indeed. They got a great selection of Chevy, GMCs, Hummers. And then across the river at Plaquemine, it is a Go Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. That's right. So you'd rather be in a pre-owned vehicle, using our resources will help you find you any vehicle that you are looking for. That's right. Our service department also offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it to when it is done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. Again, Chevy Tahoe that I drive came right there from Go Chevrolet in LaPlace. My buddy Lee Carney at Go Chevrolet. Check out their inventory at GoChevrolet.com.
Live at Rocca, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lanyap on Perkins and Blue Bonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street and now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
Bayou Ford powers the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch us live daily. Find what you missed on demand and subscribe to each show's channel to get notified when we go live or new videos arrive. Plus, discover exclusive YouTube broadcasts you can't find anywhere else. From AFR to OTB and everything in between. It's the Watch 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel powered by Bayou Ford.
Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life.
giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Rocca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Rocca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
From east, north to south, but we're heading west. It's Wes Reynolds from VSiN.
And we return here at Rocca Pizzeria, bring in Wes Reynolds. Well, Wes, I was following you on Twitter, of course, on X, and we were both bummed out yesterday when we found out about the death of George Wendt, one of the greatest characters on American television, Norm Peterson. So I shared your love of the series before we get into the sports here today.
Yeah, it was very sad news to see that, but at least, one of those things that brings up all great memories of that program, and tweeted probably one of the greatest scenes of a series finale, because oftentimes series finales can really disappoint, even for really successful shows. But that scene with him and Ted Danson as Sam, as that, they're closing down Cheers for good. What a great scene, and even just a great character and funny guy. Of course, the SNL, the Bear sketches, and all the Chicago sketches. So very sad news to see George Wendt go at the age of 76.
Yeah, I love that scene, and I love the part where he fixes the picture of Tecumseh as a tribute to Nicholas Colasanto, who was coach on the show, who passed away I think after season 3 and was replaced by Woody Harrelson, who was also great on that show. Okay, Jimmy's going to explode if we do any more pop culture, but we wanted to say goodbye to Norm.
Oh, come on, Charlie! Even I watched Cheers.
Cheers was
come
great.
On, that's Thursday night appointment viewing, right?
That was great, man. Cheers was phenomenal,
and it was followed by
later in the run,
I think it was Night Court.
Okay.
Night Court, and later on, when Seinfeld was on Thursday nights when it first started, and Cheers was getting towards the end of its run. And in between that, I'm not really sure. What is it? Maybe Mad About You or something like that. That was must see TV. Cosby was on Thursday night as well.
I was at Cosby, that was NBC, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cosby came in front of Cheers at the beginning.
Okay.
And then later on, it was Seinfeld and. Maybe Mad About You. I don't know.
All right,
exactly.
Wes, your thoughts of the PGA first.
Yeah, but Scotty Scheffler, it's like he didn't really do anything great. He was just good in everything, and that was more than good enough. He just didn't make any mistakes, and when he did, he was able to recover and able to not get in trouble on that Green Mile, that last 3-hole stretch there at Quail Hollow, and. It got dicey a little bit. Like, it got close. He was tied to start the back 9, and then Rahm went away, and nobody else really made a move. I had DeChambeau. He was my closest pursuer, but he probably gave his chance away on Saturday when he hit it in the water on that par 3 on 17, and then he's got to look back and see Scotty hit it to like 3 feet for eagle. So, I mean, he knew he was done there, but he is definitely back, Scotty Scheffler, and you're seeing that in the odds pretty much every single week, especially this week, which is like a home game in Fort Worth. But also at the Memorial, he'll be favorite. At the U.S. Open, you've already seen his odds drift down. That's close to like 3-1, maybe like plus 3.25. But he's the absolute favorite right now. Rory had his run, and now Scotty's back.
You're the sports book manager. Okay, you got to put up the odds. All right, we want to put up. Give me the odds on Scheffler winning the career slam. and you've got these tickets are good through 2035.
Okay, so it's not just for this year then.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, that's why I'm a bettor, because I wouldn't be a very good odds maker. But to be honest with you, but look, it's got to be minus money. I think he's going to, even though he's never really been close like at an Open Championship. But links golf, look, it takes a little bit of time for people to get used to, and guys can win late in their career, can win an Open Championship. Oh, we saw Tom Watson at 60 almost win one at Turnberry many years ago. But Phil Mickelson won late in his career at the Open. So that may not come right away. That may be the one where he has to work to get, kind of like Rory had to do at the Masters. That may come later in the career, but I think he's going to do it. I just think he hits the ball too well with the like every damn second shot. If it's a bad shot, it's like 15 to 20 feet, whereas everybody else is like 40 feet away and having the 2-5. And he just gets looked at birdies every single time. So he's gonna do the career slam. I don't have any doubt about that.
Minus 130, minus 230, minus $4. What would you?
I would say probably, to be a little conservative, maybe like minus $2. If you're going through a certain year, obviously not this year, because I think the Open's probably going to come later in his career. So I think that'd probably be
Max?
fair.
Ooh, it would be minus money at this point. I will say I heard something. No Laying Up asked. They have a partnership with a sports book. They asked them what they would set his over under for total majors by 2040 was. They set it at 9.5, which is a little high to me. I would have
3
had
right now, right?
I would have had it 7.5. He's at 3. A lot can happen. We saw him get hurt by raviolis. He's got to stay away from that. But what if he has a bad back injury? What happens then? So.
People thought Brooks was a shoe-in a few years ago.
Right.
To win 10 majors. And he's still at 5. And, man, now you did put minus money that he's going to go way under 10 at this point.
Yeah, what if Aubert, just explodes? Would that be a total shock? Or some other young golfer?
Yeah, no surprise.
Where was Scheffler when Koepka was, doing this?
There was a time when Jordan Spieth was going to win 9 majors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So Charlie was talking about, well, if you gamble, you Scheffler's not great. Well, Charlie, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think every site out there offers without Scheffler odds. And just to give you an idea, the second choice in this tournament at the Charles Schwab, Jordan Spieth is 22-1 with Scheffler. He's 18-1 without. Wes, before you give us your picks, would you and especially with Scheffler playing in his home soil, which seems to be really tough, are these picks with or without, or would you kind of split them down the middle?
Yeah, I did the with. If you're gonna do the with, you probably on some of your outrights, and I do this anyway, you're probably gonna want to play some top 10s or top 20s if you're not doing the without market. But if that's something I may regret, because I did not do the without market this particular week. But what I'm doing is I'm going to use those placement markets, especially the 10s and 20s, to try to kind of counteract that and maybe get something on the board, because I like some of the guys I played this week, but I'm staring against Goliath here. So you got to try to hedge or maybe diversify at least in some kind of way.
All right, who are we looking at this week?
Aaron Rye, 35-1, T19 last week at the PGA, 3rd in approach, 4th in driving accuracy. He's very good on these type of courses, which is like the less than driver, because this is a par 70, about 72-89. But this is not a course where you got to be a bomber. Like, if you can bomb it, you could try to cut a lot of these dog legs on this course. I think 12 of the 18 are dog leg holes, but has made the cut here, all 3 appearances, shorter course. So I think he can go well here. Aaron Rye, 35. Maverick McNeely, I think, is down to 30. I got him at a little better number, but this is a guy that's got 5 top 10s ever since he won that last event at the RSM last year. 3 of them top 3 or better. He's one of several players just below that cutoff point for the top 6 for the Ryder Cup. So this is a guy that definitely has Ryder Cup ambitions for Team USA. And McNeely, we know, such a good putter. pretty much all across the board. So I think you're gonna have to be. This can turn into a little bit of a putting contest. These are pretty smooth and fast bent grass greens, so not a lot of complex to them. So good putting strokes can win here, and I think McNeely could fit the bill there. JJ Spawn, 60-1, who was third in the field last week in the accuracy, has never really been good here at Colonial if you look at his form sheet. But this course should fit it with how he plays, considering he's fourth on the tour for stroke gain approach. Has come close about 3 times this season. Third at the Sony, runner-up at the Cognizant, lost that playoff to Rory, that Monday finish at the Players' Championship. So he doesn't seem like he's too far off for winning an event, maybe in a downfield, even though you got the world number 1 at the top. This could be good for JJ Spawn. Brian Gerard, another guy that's been playing some pretty hot golf, and he's in the 70th to 1 range. 3 top 10s in his last 6. He was 8th at the PGA last week. Second for stroke gain ball striking, which is off the tee plus approach. That was even better numbers than Scotty posted. So he's hitting the ball very well. We'll see if he can make some putts. He's made over 14 putts. Good form to start the year for Brian Gerard. And then another guy that has decent form here, but hasn't really played very well this spring until last week at the PGA. He was 10th on approach. The South African Christian Bezuidenhout, 17th, 21st, and 15th here the last 3 years. Always good on and around the green. 14th in putting, 24th for stroke gain around the green on the overall tour. And then a couple triple-digit guys. Bud Colley, 100-1, who had started the year on that major medical extension. Remember, he had that car accident a few years ago, and really the effects of the injury carried over for several years. But 3 top 6s back in March in consecutive weeks. Should fit better on this shorter, more ball striking heavy course. And then Ryo Hisasune from Japan, 120-1, made the cut last week at the PGA. 2 top 5s in his last 8 starts. Went well in Texas earlier this year. Was in the mix of Bolero. Finished 5th, T13 last year at the Byron Nelson. So Ryo Hisasune, I thought, was worth a chance.
All right, Wes. I mean, don't you just enjoy when you put on the national media coverage and boy, everybody's pulling for the Knicks. I mean, when did it started? I remember in some journalism classes you're supposed to strive for objectivity. Well, I guess maybe a lot of these guys didn't go to journalism class. I don't know. How about it, Wes?
There is no objectivity in some of the national media here. It's like there's New York and an entire country does not exist here. But look, the Pacers Eastern Conference Finals again did beat them last year in game number 7. Great shooting performance, and I know Brunson got hurt, but I think of the Pacers, they're getting a lot of disrespect because it's like, oh, these guys all get hurt against them, and maybe that's partially true, but it's also true that you get injured against the Pacers because of how they play. Because they're physical, they pick you up 94 feet. They are a nightmare guard, especially when they get in the open floor. And they've been the best effective field goal percentage, best 3-point percentage in the entire playoffs. And this team's a nightmare to guard, man, and they're never out of it. You saw that against Cleveland in the elimination game when they got down early, and then all of a sudden they cut in that lead and they pulled away late in the fourth quarter. These guys just keep coming. And, the Knicks, I think if you look at the starting 5, it's certainly more star-heavy than the Pacers, whereas the Knicks, Brunson and Towns, that 2-man game has really what hurt the Pacers in the regular season. But Indiana's so balanced, and they go so deep. And you've got these Knicks that only play 7 guys. What if somebody gets nicked up again? What if Josh Hart gets nicked up or Anunoby or something like that? Then all this for a very bare bones rotation with that team. And we know Thibodeau likes to ride those starters very heavy. So I like the Pacers in the series. I think that they're worth it at plus $1.40 if you go a little bit more conservative, plus 1.5 and lay some juice on the series spread. I do like this team, and it seems like all the national media, you're right, Jimmy, are picking the Knicks. It's like they showed it like they had won the championship after they knocked out the Celtics last week. It's like, well, hold the phone here. Wait a minute. You got another series and a team that numbered a little bit last year. So I don't think the Pacers are intimidated to go. They certainly weren't last year, and they won't be this year.
Follow Wes on Twitter at Wes Reynolds 1. Wes, thank you so much. We appreciate Don't worry, we're pulling for the Pacers too. We get a little tired of the New
Thank you,
York
fellas.
fatigue. The New York fatigue.
Yeah, a smaller market's got to stick together, right?
That's right. That's right. Good luck, Wes. Enjoy it, brother.
You bet, guys. Thank you.
All right, Charlie. What we got? I got the green egg going, huh? We got Memorial Day. We're gonna be. You know, where we're gonna be tomorrow at Iverstein, loading up
put
for
some
Memorial Day
stuff on the
weekend.
grill.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. And so, of course, I got all my gadgets and my green egg from our boys down at the Thibodeau store.
You got a chance to get down there before Memorial Day weekend, pick up a grill, pick up a big green egg cooker. The Cajun cookware, specialty cookware, can be shipped right to your door at doitbest.com/Thibodeau store. All of these are great for Memorial Day. They're also great gifts for Dad. Father's Day is about a month away, a little under a month away. You can get online right now at doitbest.com/Thibodeau store. Also, once you get into the store and also the Pierre Part store, pick up some of that Cypress furniture, some of the custom-made Cypress furniture, rockers, gliders, benches, swings, all of these available. These are unique gift items that you can get for Dad, all of them available at the Pierre Part store and the Thibodeau store. Getting the yard in gear as we get into the summer months, your turf builders, your seeders, all of your garden supplies are on special right now on the website. You can get those as well as potting soils and fertilizer and outdoor power equipment. The mowers from the push mowers all up to the big riding mowers are available at the Thibodeau store. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online is Thibodeau store. doitbest.com/Thibodeau store. Back with our consensus golf picks brought to you by Dana Brown, Law Office of O.C. Brown. That's next here at Rocca Pizzeria on Government Street, Mid-City, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. This is Charles Hannigrove. Tee up your savings with a great CD rate from Home Bank. For a limited time, you can earn 4.25% annual percentage yield on a 3 or 7 month CD. If you're looking for a longer term, you can take advantage of 4.05 APY on an 11-month CD or 3.75 on a 14-month CD. The minimum balance is only $2,500. Stop by a Home Bank location to speak with a local banker today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, member FDIC.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video, and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
This is Charles Henniger for Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. The Chuck Oliver Show, weeknights at 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Our Wednesday consensus golf picks are brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown.
All right, Max, who you got?
Well, I'm going to take on Scotty, which is probably a bad idea. I certainly wouldn't blame anyone who goes in the without Scheffler markets.
You talk about 22 to 1 and 18 to 1.
That's not a bad difference. Now,
That's
I think
what I'm saying. I mean,
it depends if you're shopping around or do you have one book. You know, if it's worth it, right? On that one, I would say that's
just one book. I'm sure. I mean, that's before you shop around. I mean,
right. The without Scheffler markets, I find, especially the further up you get, if you go to like 100 to 1 guy, you'll see them without Scheffler. They'll be like 60, 65 to 1. So you ended up taking quite a bit off at that point. But you know, if you're only taking off a couple points, whatever percentages you want to go by, I can't blame anyone because he's won the last 2. He's won them pretty comfortably, and he's the best player in the world, and he's back home in Texas. So I can't blame anyone for going without Scheffler. Maybe if you're playing any long shots, I would go in those top 5, top 10 markets that Wes mentioned earlier.
Well, it's by percentage. So, you know, you divide 22 divided by 4, it's 5.5. It's right at, when you decrease it from 22 to 1 to 18 to 1, you're looking at going at that's about 18%.
And does he have an 18% chance of winning? Yeah, probably so.
You know, so if it's at 100 to 1, it would go. You could go all the way down to 60 to 1 instead of like 75, 80.
I think they're protecting themselves from a second place. It's very reasonable for a guy like Bezadenhout, who doesn't really win much, but hey, he can come in second. Sure.
You don't buy. I know he's coming off of a major, but this guy on this Texas soil, boy. What's his record of Texas tournaments?
He's been good, but he did get outlasted by Davis Riley at this very event last year. I mean, he was supposed to win that tournament, and Riley kind of out of nowhere. I think he was like 300 to 1 to win that week. Ended up kind of shocking him on the weekend.
Let's go.
I'm going to take him on here. I'm going to start off with a guy who I actually think could close up against Scotty Scheffler, and that's Hideki Matsuyama at 28 to 1. Not playing his best golf this season after getting off to a hot start in Hawaii, but I just think, now that he's playing less than driver, the driver's been a little bit erratic this season for him. He's been missing a lot of drivers, but it's a tree line course, and it's also going to be a little bit windy this weekend. He has a bit of a lower ball flight, which helps him in an event like this, where in majors that might penalize him a little bit more. He missed the cut last week, so I think you're getting a good number on Hideki Matsuyama at 28 to 1. It's just I'm playing, a good player. I'm playing a good player at 28 to 1. I think it's a value play at this point. And he's played pretty well in Texas throughout his career as well. Siwoo Kim, 45 to 1. Really impressive what he was able to do last week. Not particularly a long hitter, but performed very well. Finished in the top 10 of the PGA Championship. Of course, had that ace on the longest ace in major championship history. Putted the lights out, which is he can run a hot putter from time to time. Has not had a great track record here, but if you look at the courses that he's played well at, Sedgefield, the Wyndham Championship, some of these other courses, RBC Heritage, he's played pretty well at over the years. Tree line, shorter golf courses that suit his type of game, so he's played well here in the past. JT Poston, 45 to 1. Maybe one of the more impressive names on that leaderboard just because he's not a long hitter, and he finished in the top 5 of the PGA. There's no reason he should play well, really, in that type of setup at Quail Hollow, but he's now got 4 consecutive top 25 finishes, typically a pretty good putter, has had a couple top 20 finishes at this event in the past. Not a great track record, but I do think his ball striking is good enough to get him a win here. And Ryan Gerard, you heard Wes mention him earlier, 70-1. Just going to play a guy who's in really, really, really good form as of late. Right now, in his last 8 finishes, his last 8 tournaments he's played, he's finished in the top 10 3 times. And I think you're getting a little bit of value on Ryan Gerard at 70-1. And then with Scheffler increasing the value, increasing the odds down the board, I'm going to play a few long shots, a few bombs, maybe play them small, however you want to do this. But Christian Bezuidenhout, 100-1, a shorter hitter, good enough iron player, great putter. I think he performs well here. Ryo Hisatsune, someone who, if you look at his comp courses, where has he played well in his career? He's got 3 top 5 finishes in his PGA Tour career. The Wyndham Championship, short golf course, tree line. Valspar Championship, that's at Innisbrook in Florida, tree line, short golf course, and then the Valero Texas Open, so another Texas event. So I think Hisatsune, who I'm typically higher on, I play him quite a bit. This is a golf course that's suited for him. A couple more bombs. Emiliano Grillo, 125-1, a former winner here, starting to round into form just a little bit, finding the driver. It's always a better driver, but his iron play is finally coming around. Really played well at the Myrtle Beach Classic, an alternate field event a couple weeks ago. He's gotten more than just a win here in 2023. He also finished 3rd and 8th in this event. And finally, Mark Hubbard, who's just on a tear as of late. Granted, you question the fields that he's done it against. He's definitely not done it against Scotty Scheffler. But 5th at the Byron Nelson, which actually Scheffler was playing in, but he won that event. Hubbard finished 5th, and then 7th at the Myrtle Beach Classic. So coming in off back-to-back top 10 finishes, Mark Hubbard, 150-1.
All right. Here's our common picks. We have 5 of them this week. So Aaron Rye, the best price there, Max?
35-1.
35-1.
Sorry, 33 now. 33.
Right, 35-1. JT Poston was hanging around last week in the PGA, so in good form. Poston's best available?
45-1.
45-1. Ryan Gerard, first round leader last week with top 10 or top 20? Last week at the PGA.
He ended up finishing, fell back a little bit on the weekend. Let's see. He finished an impressive, 8th place finish. Yep.
Okay. Best available?
He is 70-1.
70-1. Boozy, B-U-Z, Bezuidenhout.
He's 100-1.
100-1.
Christian Bezuidenhout.
And then Rio, which is R-Y-O, Hisatsune, which is his, H-I-S, at A-T-S-U-N-E. Hisatsune is triple digits as well. Aaron Rye, JT Poston, Ryan Gerard, Boozy, and our favorite Rio Japanese, Hisatsune. Charlie.
Can I get you a tissue?
All brought to you by our friends Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime. 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Both Charlie and I have used Dana's specialized team of attorneys for different reasons, for different stages of our life. And, man, it's easy to schedule that initial consultation. Just go to their website at ocbrown.com, and, boy, you scroll on down, and there you go. You can click on to schedule that initial consultation. So it's real easy. You can send a message if you got criminal law, car accident, you name it, estate planning, DWIs, personal injury, whatever it is, you can get a free consultation. Just click on it. It's 1984. The law offices of O.C. Brown, serving the clients of Baton Rouge and across Louisiana. So give them a call at 343-1111 or go to the website at ocbrown.com.
Live at Rocca, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877.
Yeah, it's fine. Hey, you ready, Jordan?
Oh, you gonna do it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
All right, it's rolling.
Let me get to their website just in case here. Iverstein Butcher. Perkins near Essen. Hey, join me, Jimmy Ott and Charles Henniger, for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch, live at Iverstein Butcher on Perkins Road. That's right, getting you ready for all your grill items for this Memorial Day weekend. That's the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch, live at Iverstein Butcher on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Ford powers the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch us live daily. Find what you missed on demand and subscribe to each show's channel to get notified when we go live or new videos arrive. Plus, discover exclusive YouTube broadcasts you can't find anywhere else. From AFR to OTB and everything in between. It's the Watch 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel powered by Bayou Ford.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in Laplace and Plaquemine.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Henniger. For total maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Rocca Pizzeria on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Today's show also brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners when it comes to retirement. No two situations are alike, so let Coastal Capital Advisors work with you and tailor-make a plan for you. No matter your age or your financial situation, they'll make a plan that makes sense for you. Coastal Capital Advisors will build that lifetime relationship just the way they've done with me. For more information, call Phil Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online it's coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, member FINRA SIPC. First game is in the books. Texas A&M beats Mississippi State 9-0. Ryan Prager and three relievers combined on a 6-hit shutout of the Bulldogs. Mississippi State moving along. They'll play Auburn, and the winner of that game will play LSU. Second game is going to get underway here probably in about 15 minutes or so, 15-20 minutes, Alabama and Tennessee. We got confirmation that Marcus Phillips is going for Tennessee. Still trying to get it confirmed, but it looks like Riley Quick for Alabama, the Saturday starters in both of those cases. Other games going along, Florida A&M leading Southern 3-1 in the third. Fam came into that game on an 11-game win streak. Cal won the first game at the ACC tournament today. They scored another 14 runs today. Game finished 14-12. Wake Forest had the tying runs on base in the ninth inning, but couldn't quite complete that comeback. Cal had gotten out big early in that game. So Cal scored 26 runs the last two games. They're coming in averaging 3.5 runs a game in conference play the last 2
Don't
weeks.
forget over here at Rocca Pizzeria, look, every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. till close, it is half off, price bottles of wine. We got sparkling wines, rosé, about 10 different whites and 10 different reds. Our happy hour is Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. Half off selected beverages, half off selected pizzas. 4 different type of pizzas and a pasta as well. And our chef lunch specials have been a big hit here at Rocca.
Tomorrow we're at Iverstein. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their